Hey everybody, thank you for checking out another episode of This Week in Real Estate. Appreciate you spending some time with me and kind of learning some stuff, and hopefully you'll be able to use some of this stuff. So kind of the brief recap of the past week. Things are just slowly, kind of steadily going along as far as closings are concerned. Like you've seen the last couple weeks, we've come to the end essentially of a bunch of transactions, which is very nice for everybody involved. And so case in point, I've had about 12 closings in the past 4 weeks or so, and so good things. Sorry about that. Good things are happening there, getting people in or out of their homes as well. So, and then some of these kind of get stacked up. So some have been struggling along to get to this point, and then some are going really quickly, and just so happens sometimes we close a bunch of them right in a row, and multiple ones on the same day and things like that. So overall, very busy, very good week. So the local market report. So nothing really changed over the past week, and now it's a short week because of Labor Day, so not a ton of activity over kind of Labor Day itself. And so that's, banks and lenders and most offices were closed, so we're kind of minus 1 day this week. And so really no change in the Delaware or the Randolph County numbers. So Delaware with 137 active, and then 201 pending. That's just very slightly. And then Randolph County down to 24 active listings right now, and then 43 that are pending. So those are pretty much the same. So on to the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, like I said, a lot of closings. So we closed Lynn Street in Union City. We're going to revisit that in the ugly section, unfortunately. But we closed that one, so that's good. We closed Primrose in Muncie in the Beverly Hills edition. So obviously that's good as well. Closed one in Albany, and then we did end up listing, and this has been kind of a process due to some personal issues, but I had Jeff Riggins with Hoosier Property Media shoot this house, I think maybe 3 or 4 months ago or something like that, and some things came up, and right at the very last second they had to pull that. And but now we are getting that one listed, as that actually is listed, and kind of what was expected. We've had I think 6 or 7 scheduled showings on it. Just went active yesterday, so we'll see how all that pans out. I'm thinking good thoughts for them. And then on the personal side of things, we did our annual family camp trip up to Quaker Haven. So the kids go throughout the kind of the summer to their age appropriate camps. Rachel helps out with one. I went with Abram this year. And then at the end, over Labor Day weekend, they do a family camp. So not near as jam-packed as a normal camp, if you will, because we have very little ones, babies all the way up from there. And so we have some, speaker sessions. The kids have their classes a few times, and then it's just a nice 3 or so days to enjoy everything up there, and it was awesome. So Saturday, kind of overcast and kind of cold, but then Sunday really ramped up and got the kids in the water and the slip and slide and all that good stuff. So just super fun time. So moving on to the bad. So we are still waiting on some appraisals, and it's the same comment every week the last few weeks, where these things in the past have taken a week, maybe 2, and we're sitting on some at 3 to 4 right now, and it's just gumming up the system. So one, we're waiting on a desktop appraisal review because the original appraisal came in and they had some questions about it. So now they're going to get another appraiser to offer their thoughts on the first appraisal. Well, nobody wants to pick that up. So there's that one. Then one, we just have no idea where it is. As far as close to being done, I don't know. I can't get a hold of them. And I guess they'll submit it when they submit it. They've been there. We know they've been to the house, but it's kind of been a struggle. So that's the same thing every week so far as the bad's concerned. So on to the ugly. Now, I mentioned Lynn Street closing, which is a very good thing. It was a decent transaction until we got to the very end. I was representing the seller in this transaction, and closing date was kind of up in the air. We had a few things that was prolonging that. Then I think on last Tuesday or Wednesday, I think it was late Tuesday, they said, hey, we can hurry some stuff up here real quick and we can close on Thursday or Friday. That's fantastic. My seller has to work, and we were giving possession at closing, and so we're hoping to have the weekend to move, since we just found out we had a scheduled closing for a day or two later. The buyer, who I did not represent, turned real ugly real quick, and got pretty darn demanding with possession at closing. Like we couldn't have another day to move things out to where we could get some help in there for her. Family members that were scheduled to help her move on Saturday all of a sudden couldn't, because it basically was demanded that we closed Friday. And so basically she had to pull in a bunch of favors and ask for some time off work real quickly and get everything packed up and into a moving truck and into some vehicles and stuff like that. Just a super stressful situation that did not have to happen, because we know the neighbor who basically reached out and said, oh yeah, they were not at the house the rest of Friday afternoon after you gave the keys to them, Saturday and for the weekend. And so he was just difficult for the purpose of being difficult, and I have real struggles with that. We got through it, and we got it sold, and everybody moved out, and supposedly he'll be moving in at some point, but it was just a frustrating few days there, and made my seller's life a little difficult, and in my opinion, for no reason. So that's the ugly side of things as far as this past week's concerned. So let's get back to the positive things and go on to the cooking corner with Curtis. So still didn't cook a whole lot this week because of the schedule, and then we were up at camp, and so they feed us very well, and didn't have to do like the cooking there basically, and very, very good food up there, by the way. But so I didn't have to cook a whole lot this past week. We did run out of some of our beef from last year, so Jarrett and Gentry Flesher, basically as soon as I cooked that last little bit of steak, I get a call and say, hey, your next steer for this year is going into the slaughterhouse, and so yeah, that one's just around the corner to replenish the freezer, so that's good. And always good meat from them, so excited about that when that one gets all said and done. And then I think I mentioned last week as well, so I will be starting to cook for kind of a soccer concessions for Farmland Friends Soccer starting next week. I thought it started this week, it's actually next week. Good thing I didn't have a lot of time yesterday to do that, so that's starting next week. I am excited about that. And then once again, chili cook-off on October the 2nd. I did have a couple people sign up already. So one restaurant has signed up, one individual has signed up, and so going to continue to reach out to people who would like to participate in that. And just got a sneak peek of the prizes, the trophies that we're offering, and I don't have a picture of the finished product yet, but I got the kind of the schematic and the scope, so super cool there. And then also in conjunction with the chili cook-off, directly after is a pie auction. And so that is, I'm not directly in charge of that whatsoever, but I did, since I was ordering the prizes for the chili cook-off, I ordered a prize for the top pie award. It's the one that brings the most dollar amount. And all this is a fundraiser for the Farmland Community Center and Historic Farmland USA. So whoever can elicit that most dollar amount for their pie that they bring, they receive a special award as well. So once all that's in and finalized, I'll throw a picture up or something. So, or you can just show up that day and take a look. So, moving on, coming up. So, I'm getting ready. I need to kind of get this over with so I can leave for a closing on a property on 5th Street in Parker. And that one is a buying client. I have 2 listings that are currently pending on 5th Street. This is the one next door, and closing that one up today for a first-time home buyer. He's been super easy to deal with. He had all his I's dotted and T's crossed with everything, so wrapping that one up here in a bit. And then also speaking with somebody right after closing about listing their home in Winchester, so we're going to go take a look there. And then again, ending up on personal side of things, I have my 20th year reunion from high school coming up this weekend, and it's just kind of a really low key, let's go hang out and talk and things like that. So that'll be fun. And then I mentioned also with the soccer program, so all 3 of our kids are in the soccer program, so I'll be kind of stealing glimpses of them as I'm flipping burgers and hot dogs and stuff like that. So that starts on next Tuesday. And then on Wednesday we have our annual Realtor Golf outing, and that's really basically a fundraiser for different charities every year. So yeah, you pay to play, but then there's different things you can donate, or different contests or things like that. So that's coming up on Wednesday, and it's the one time a year where I golf. So you can just imagine how that's going to go. But it's always a fun time to hang out, not only with the agents here, but the agents we work with on a daily basis, and just kind of, you know, enjoy that, enjoy some food and some golf, and just try not to hurt anything in the process. So, so big recap, busy week last week, a lot of good things happening, and then definitely looking forward to next week on multiple levels. So once again, thanks for tuning in, checking these out. And as always, if you have any questions or any comments, leave those below. I read those, and I will try to respond to those as well. So thanks again. We'll see you.